Today we're going to study factoring, and we are going to factor perfect square trinomials of this form: x squared plus or minus 2xy plus y squared. First, let us review our special product, the square of the binomial x plus y. And the answer is a trinomial x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. Also, if we have the square of x minus y, the answer is a trinomial x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. This trinomial and this trinomial are called perfect square trinomials because both of them comes from the square of binomials. For today's lesson, we are going to have the reverse process. The problem will come to you as this product, and you will be required to provide factors, which is the square of binomial, either of this form or this form. How to factor perfect square trinomials? We are going to follow these 3 steps. Step 1, check if the trinomial fit the pattern of the perfect square trinomials, either this form x squared plus 2xy plus y squared, or this form x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. In step 2, write the square of the binomial. And step 3, check by multiplying the factors. Let us have example 1. Factor the trinomial 25x squared plus 20x plus 4. Let us check if this trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. First, our 25x squared and the number 4, we can rewrite it as the square of some terms. So the 25x squared is now the square of 5x, and the number 4 is 2 squared. For the middle term 20x, what we will do, first, let us write the 5x in here and the number 2, and these are the bases of the first and the third terms respectively. And then we will multiply by 2. And this number 2 is always constant. When we multiply these 3 factors here, we are hoping that the answer will be the middle term. So 2 times 5x times 2 will give us that positive 20x. So it means to say this given trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. We can now proceed to our step 2, write the square of the binomial, and that will be our answer. So to write our answer, we're going to put 5x as the first term here, and that 5x is the base of the first term, and then plus this positive sign comes from the sign of the middle term, and the number 2, and this number 2 is the base of the third term. And then we will not forget the square outside. So this is our answer, the square of 5x plus 2. Now for the step 3, we're going to check our answer if it is correct. We are going to expand and hope that we will get back our original problem up here. So when we expand a binomial, it will follow this pattern here. So the 5x square, it will give me the 25x square, and that is the first term of the trinomial. If I square 2, that is equal to 4, and that is the third term of the trinomial. Now I will multiply 5x times 2 and times 2, and that is equal to 20x. So the square of 5x plus 2 is our final answer. Let us go to example 2. Factor the trinomial 16x squared minus 8xy plus y squared. I wrote my steps here. So first, I'm going to rewrite the 16x squared into the square of 4x and the y squared to be the square of y. For the middle term, first I will write the minus sign, and then the 4x and the y are written in the middle, and then times 2, and that is a constant. And I will hope that if I multiply 2 by 4x and by y, it will give me that 8xy. And it is. So it means to say this trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. So the pattern is satisfied. I can now go to step 2. I will now write my answer. And my answer, or my factors, is the square of the binomial. So I will collect the 4x. I will put it here as the first term of the binomial, and then minus. The sign comes from the sign of the middle term, and the second term here is the y, which is the base of the third term. Of course, I will not forget the square outside. So this is my answer, the square of 4x minus y. Going to step 3, I will check my answer if it is correct by multiplying the factors. Or I can say that I will expand my binomial. If I do that, it will come to this pattern. So if I square 4x, it will give me 16x squared, and that will be the first term of the trinomial up here. If I square negative y, it is equal to y squared positive, and that is the third term of the trinomial. Now, I will multiply 4x by negative y and times 2. That is equal to negative 8xy. So, my answer, square of 4x minus y, is correct. And that is my final answer. Let's have example 3. Factor the trinomial 100x squared y minus 80xy plus 16y. I can see here that the first term and the last term are not perfect squares. So I can say that this is not a perfect square trinomial. However, I can see that there is a greatest common factor among the three terms, and that GCF is 4y. So I will factor out the GCF, and for the first term, when I remove the GCF, what remains is the 25x squared. For the second term, what remains is the negative 20x. for the third term, what remains is 4. So it means to say, I have now a new problem here. 4y times a trinomial 25x squared minus 20x plus 4. Now, I will check if this new trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. I will rewrite 25x squared into the square of 5x and that 4 to be the 2 square. In the middle term, first I will copy the sign, the negative. Then I will take this 5x right here. I will take this 2, put it here, and then times 2. If I multiply the 2 times 5x times 2, this will be equal to the negative 20x. So it means to say, this is a perfect square trinomial. Of course, I will not forget my 4y to be copied down here. So I will now go to step 2 to write my answer, to write the square of the binomial. First, I will copy the 4y, and then for the binomial, it will be the 5x as the first term, then minus, the sign comes from the sign of the middle term, and then the second term is the number 2, which is the base of the third term. Again, I will not forget the power 2. So this is my answer. 4y times the binomial, or the square of the binomial, 5x minus 2. Now, for step 3, I will check if my answer is correct. First, I'm going to expand the 5x minus 2 all squared. So the 5x squared is equal to the 25x squared. It is written here. If I square negative 2, it will be positive 4. I'm going to multiply 5x times negative 2 times 2. It will give me the negative 20x. And the 4y here, I can write it there and then start to multiply the 4y to each term of the trinomial. And it will give me this original trinomial 100x squared y minus 80xy plus 16y. So I was able to confirm that my answer here is correct. And this is my final answer. Example 4. Factorize 36x squared minus 84xy plus 49y squared. We're going to check if this trinomial fit the pattern x squared minus 2xy plus y squared. First is, we're going to show that the first and third term are squares of some terms. We will rewrite the trinomial and it becomes like this. The 36x squared we can write as square of 6x, while the 49y squared we can write as the square of 7y. Next is, we're going to multiply the bases of first and third term times 2 if it equals the second term. Let us rewrite the trinomial down here. So the base of the first term is 6x, we write it here. The base of the third term is 7y, and it is here, then times 2. Now, we're going to simplify 2 times 6x and 7y, if it equals 84xy. And the answer is yes. If pattern is satisfied, we will now write our factors, and that is the base of first term minus the base of third term, that is squared. So 6x, this is the base of the first term. Then minus, the base of the third term is 7y. And then we square. This is now the final answer.